Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's session, we are going to talk about Power App portals within our Power App platform. So what is Power App portal? So Power App portal is an alternate which is being given within the Power App platform to create the public websites. And why I'm emphasizing on that, because in the earlier days of SharePoint Online, where we used to have the public sites, right now we don't have any mechanism of creating public sites. If you want to share any data or SharePoint site with any external user, then you have to have that user authenticated as a guest users within your Azure AD. So this could be Power App portal could be answer for creating anonymous sites where you want to share the data without any authentication for any external users. So it actually works in conjunction, like if you want to have your some of your features or functionality to be available for only authenticated users, then you can bind up the specific identity provider with your Power App portal, and few of the pages you can keep it on public. For example, let's say you are creating one partner site where you want to have the quotation from your partner, and then that sort of form you can just make that freely available without any authentication for them, and they can fill out the data, and that data can be saved under the backend technology which I am going to tell you about. And if you are working with Power Apps earlier, then you are familiar with CDS. So CDS is being used as backend for this entire stuff. You can bind up your forms or data to the CDS entities and then have them freely available with the anonymous permissions to the external users. And with this Power App portal, we do have like a few predefined themes, and you can as well customize those themes per your need. You can have predefined page templates, which we'll be seeing in demo right now. And the underlying technology which is being used for programming for the dynamic content is Liquid. So those who are working on Dynamics 365, they must be familiar with Liquid, but I'll be giving you a glimpse of that as well. And the prerequisite skill which you need to work on this Power App portal would be just HTML, CSS, nothing more than that. It's very simple. So let's jump to the demo. So I have already logged into make.powerapps.com. So if you are working in Power App platform, this screen must be familiar with you. You must have created Canvas app or model driven app earlier. Then it's pretty good for you, because you would be learning it more quickly and you would be understanding the CDS concept better. So this third option we are talking about, so portal from blank. So I especially like this feature because earlier we used to have the SharePoint public sites, but right now in Microsoft 365 that is missing, and this is a primary stuff which I want to create this portal where I would like to just expose as have my information available for my external users, guests, without have them authenticated in any way. So though like with SharePoint Online we have external sharing, you can enable the external sharing where they have required to be authenticated as guest users, but for this one nothing is required. It's purely just simple page, or the pages would be available for a customer or for your external partners. So I am going to click on this portal from blank link, and that would give me a pop-up which would require some information to fill it out. So the name of the portal, so you can simply say your organization external site portal. So now you can see in address IT external, and copying that to this address, then it will give me okay, this address is available. Now you can create this portal. So it takes couple of minutes, so I am pausing my video because it would take time to get the things provision. Alright, so our portal got provision. So now you can see it has created few default pages. So this one is the home page, and the partial URL is / that means it's not having any sub pages. And if you see on the right hand side, there is default template which is being applied to it, default studio template. And there is if you click on permissions, page available to everyone. So here is the catch, that the public page is on the web and available to anyone, so it would not require anyone to authenticate it. If you want to turn it off, you want your authenticated users only, then you can just simply click on that page should not available to everyone, and then you will need to select role, and I would be telling you how you can create the roles. So it's simply like the same way we used to create for the Power App portal or any model driven app portal. So you can reference my model driven app videos where I've created the app and define the security rules. So I'm just turning it on because I want this page to be available to everyone on the web. And now I'll just go to the left hand side just to give you like how you can keep on customizing this page. So this small box are pages. You can see by default there are few pages which got provisioned along with it. So one is product A sample. So this clearly showing you that you can create your product pages for your customers where you can just simply just browse the product catalog without any authentication. So you can customize your pages. All these are being divided into sections. You can change your logo image. You can as well have this breadcrumb changed or deleted, or if you don't want in that case, and you can simply change the images. So when you select any of the content section, this section, then this the properties, component properties appears over here. So these are the default pages. We can create our own, and if you click on this spread box, then this component library would get appear. So what is this component library? It's giving you the layout for this page. You can, so for example, let's create a new page from, you can just choose a template, and with the fixed layout you can decide like which page with child links or page with title you would like to choose. So I'm just choosing page with title. You can try all these templates, page templates which are given, and you can choose whichever suits best to you. So I was talking about the components. So in components you can see it has by default give me these sections, so I can just simply select and remove them, and you can, if you want to insert any new section, then you can go to this section component library and then click on one column section, or you can change the layout as well like later on. So for example, I've selected this one column section, and now I want to add up my content area. So you can just say these are portal components which can be controlled, which can be dropped in these areas. So it can be text, images, iframe, form, list, breadcrumb, Power BI, charts. So as I said, this could be useful if you would like to collect any information from your partner, vendor, customer. Then I'm saying I'll be selecting one form. So I'll drop that form under this my section, in that section. So when I dropped it, you can see it has opened that right hand this component panel for me, where I have to define the entities for it. So here comes the backend stuff, how you can bind up the data, how you can save the data or view the data. So here you can see it's saying create a new or existing. So what new? So it's saying create a new form. So I'm saying, let's say services, and I need to specify that form with one entity. So if you are already working in PowerApps, then you are familiar that what are entities in CDS. So CDS is a common data service where actually all the entities lie up, and entities are nothing but a kind of think about a data table which is having table and columns with it. So entities are same, nothing more than that, and we can have multiple entities and we can define the relationships as well in between. So these are existing, which is already there, the entities which are already there in my environment. So for example, if I am picking account, and in the form layout I can bind like which layout I would like to have. So I can say just information, so that I can control the input of this page, and the mode would be insert. I want my partner to insert the data. So for example, this form is for my vendor, and vendor would like to put up the account information for him, then it would be the form that vendor has to fill. And what should happen on the form success, we have to define. So on form success message, you can put out your custom message over here, and we can hide the form when the form is submitted. And under the advanced settings, you can see that it's already enabled the show captcha. This because this page would be enabled, like available on the internet, so you would like to have this additional security check for it. But right now I'm just unchecking because I don't want to fill up the captcha for this demo. And if your entity that which I binded, that is account, is having the entity permission, then you can just enable this one. So if you know about entity, then entities also have the roles and the security permissions aligned with them. So those permissions would be inherited for this form. So only the specific users, for example, this form is for your authenticated users, and you want only your managers or the vendor managers who are managing vendor would like to fill this form, then you can just enable this entity enable permissions. Only those managers would able to submit that out, those who are having access to this entity. So this is the configuration stuff. So this form is being configured now. So I'll just if you would like to have a view like how will this look like, then you can just simply browse your site by clicking this button. So it will open your site. You can see XIM ID external portal.powerappsportals.com, and because we have created this new page and did not rename it, so that's why it's taking that short URL for it. So now you see we have binded up that form, so that form is appearing over here, and all that form can be submitted by anonymous users, no permissions required. So now you can see this having some theme applied. So we'll just talk about themes, because in my environment I've applied this theme. You can change in your environment, and how we can do that. So with the themes, which is a third control, you can click on this and you can see enable basic theme, which is enabled. If I just uncheck that out, then it will wipe up everything and you can start adding up your custom CSS over here. So no basic theme is applied, you can add it and have your CSS in place. And these are the default files, the theme.css, which you would be customizing. So for now I'll just use the basics. So I have to enable this enable basic theme, and I'll just pick up any of the predefined themes. So let's say this one, which will get applied to this page, and Sun. Alright, so we talked about these components, pages and the themes, and the last part is templates. So now you can see these are the default templates which are given, and as you remember, we have created the page with this template. So for example, you would like to click on search and search template, then it will open up the search template. So selected template is not editable, so you can't edit this template. So what that means, we can edit the other template. So let me pick up any of the other template, let's say page with title. So how we can edit this up? So now you can see in the code editor is showing us some information, and what that information is, it's a plain HTML div container structure. And what is this with the curly braces? So this is called as liquid programming structure. The syntax is curly braces. For example, you would like to include the page titles from some dynamic component, then you can simply use the curly braces and use the page dot title over here. So this kind of binding you can do within your using the liquid programming. So I am not going into the detail because this liquid programming syntax and everything is quite a detailed one. Who are working in this Dynamics 365, they must be already familiar with this stuff, but then you can have, because it's a short video, so I can't take everything over here itself. Though anybody would require any support for this liquid, then I would be happy to help. Just drop me a comment in the box. So this way we can customize it, and you can also customize your existing forms. For example, let me pick up this new page we just created. So this is the form. So rather than I would be just dropping the controls over here, so what I can do, I can quickly under the beneath you can see this source code editor icon. If I click on that icon, it opened the code editor and I can start putting up the data over here, the selected editable component to edit source. So you can just simply put the data of your choice, the HTML. When I say data, I mean like HTML. So I can say div and I'll just add it up and bold. And what is bold? The title, let's say test page, and it will automatically get saved this code. So I believe like I have covered most of the stuff, how you can create the pages, how to define the bindings, and if you have a detailed look on these pages setup, then you can just simply move the pages and make them as sub page of anything by changing the navigation. So for example, I have just changed that new page. Now it has started appearing under this about us, and the default navigation is this one. So if you browse your site, and let's say if I'm on home page, and once you browse your site, it will give you the navigation, the header part. So when I go to home, it's showing me services and under about us. So because I have created that as sub page for it, so though I have not made that as a sub page link, so that's why that's the other option is not appearing. So you can shuffle your navigation based on your requirement. So it's a sub page of contact us, that's why it was not appearing. So you can as well, you can just control hide in default menu, and you can promote that as sub page. So there are various options, you can make that navigation work for you. So it's kind of, if you want to customize, then you can definitely do with your HTML, CSS and theme CSS. And if you want to use a standard theme which is already there and you are not very good at the HTML and CSS handling, then it's also fine. I mean like it's a pretty standard straightforward way of creating your anonymous portal available on the web. So I'm again going to my Power App, and why I'm going, because I would like to give you a bit of the administration settings so that you can understand that how you can control the admin part of this portal. So when you go to the apps, you will find your app portal, and you can simply click on these three dots. Now if you click go to the settings, you will get this option, which is advanced settings, authentication settings, administration settings, and site settings. So let me click on authentication settings. So as I said, you can have your portal anonymous and as well as linked up with any identity provider. So these are default identity provider which is already there. Now you can see right now is binded with Azure Active Directory. So that means your authenticated organization user would able to use this. And these are as well as other option of identity providers, but definitely not a very practical one, these Facebook, LinkedIn, Google, Twitter. So this was a glimpse of this identity provider configuration setting. If I just go back to my apps, so under the settings, I just go to the administration part, and I'll just go to the site setting part. Both part I'll cover, not in the detail level but at the high level. So here it will require you to again enter your password. So now in the admin part, so it's a portal apps admin center, so possibly for end users it would not be available because there's a trial environment for me, so that's why it's available. So you can see portal actions, what portal actions you can do. So restarting portal, public key, install project. So you can have a detailed look over here by yourself, and though like from an end user perspective you will not need to manage or have this in place. So this is the one which I would like to show you. Now you can see there's a website, there are the few settings. For example, the starter portal, this is a active website which is linked to your Power App portal which we just created. Under page templates, now you can see under this page template, these are the default page template which were available there, but you would like to build a new page template for your organization, then you can do well from here starting. Or simply you can just make a copy of any existing template and then can start working with that, creating your new page template. So that is one important feature, page template. You can have your custom page template well in place from there. And for the content snippet, I would like to show you one thing which is very important, is web forms. So in this web form you can very well apply the custom JavaScript. So you need to create your web form, and in the web form steps it will ask you like what steps you would like to apply for your web form. So you can have a look on this settings part. There are a lot of things to be covered in the security, entity permissions, contact, web pages, access, web roles. So I think like this is a pretty useful feature for you. So if you would like to make your organization site which should be available externally without any authentication, then this is the right choice to make. So I think that's it for this video. Thank you. Thanks so much.